My name is Sophia Green. I'm 31 years old. I live with my husband, Jackson, and our 3-year-old daughter, Ava. Jackson married into my family and took over the company my father founded, working as its CEO. I was living happily surrounded by my kind and doting husband and our adorable daughter. Until that day. Hey, isn't your husband cheating on you? Excuse me? One day, a gossip-loving neighbor approached me with that. Cheating? What are you talking about? Well, I actually saw it. I saw your husband entering a hotel district with a young woman. What? You know, there's a grocery store near the hotel district that often has sales. I often shop there, and one evening, I remembered something I forgot to buy and went to the store. Even though the sun hadn't completely set, I saw your husband walking arm in arm with a pretty young woman. I followed them, and they went into the hotel district. Hotel district? Could it be a misunderstanding? I can't believe he would cheat. I've never sensed another woman around him since we got married. I thought it was a mistake at first too, but then I saw them several times after that. It was definitely your husband. Oh no. Listen, I'm not just gossiping for the sake of it. Even the most devoted husbands and doting fathers can cheat. And your husband is a public figure. He's the CEO of a well-known company that everyone recognizes. If word gets out that he's cheating, wouldn't that be bad? My husband is the CEO of the large company my father founded. When my father turned 60 and became the chairman, it was time for a new CEO. Originally, as an only child, I was supposed to take over my father's company, but being shy and not good at leading, my husband took over instead. And that company is well known. That's why she told me about his suspicious behavior, to keep rumors from spreading. Maybe you should investigate before anyone else witnesses it. But if it turns out to be nothing, then fine. If your husband gets upset for doubting him, just blame it on the gossiping old lady from the neighborhood. Just look into it. I had never doubted my husband's fidelity before. Even after our daughter was born, he was proactive with household chores and childcare. I thought he was the ideal husband. He can't be cheating. Despite my thoughts, I decided to investigate after hearing from the neighbor. It turned out, I trusted him. What the neighbor said was true. After my husband fell asleep, I checked his smartphone and found out he was cheating with a young woman he met on a dating app. Hey, can you meet tomorrow? Yeah, I'm finishing work early tomorrow, so let's meet at our usual place. Our usual place? You mean the hotel again, right? Always the same. But you don't mind, do you? Well, no. But isn't it a bit much considering you have a wife and a kid? We agreed not to talk about that. I truly care about my wife and child. The business I took over from my father-in-law is finally catching on, and honestly, I'm satisfied with my current life. But that's a different matter. I was shocked to be betrayed like this by the husband I trusted. And the next day. I'll be going then. I have a lot to do today, so I might work late. Don't wait up. Hey! I was about to confront my husband about what I found on his phone. But I know, I've been coming home late recently, and I'm sorry for making you take care of Ava by yourself. I've barely seen our daughter's sleeping face lately. I'll try my best to come home earlier. Thanks for everything. A doting and kind husband. Seeing him like that, I decided not to confront him. I thought it was enough if I just endured it. So, I sent him off as if nothing had happened. However, a few weeks later, it turned out that my husband had committed a betrayal far worse than infidelity. Hey, why didn't you wake me up? I'm almost late for work. That morning, I didn't wake my husband as I usually did. And when he hurried into the living room, he saw the table and said, "Oh, where's breakfast? I didn't prepare it." Why not? You always have it ready before I wake up. Don't tell me there's no lunch either. No, there isn't. What's that about? What happened all of a sudden? You didn't wake me up this morning either. Are you feeling okay? I'm fine. Then why? Everything was normal until yesterday. Do you have some complaint against me? If so, just say it clearly. Don't beat around the bush. And what about Ava? I feel like her room is cleaner than usual. Something's off with you. It seemed he noticed something was wrong, but he didn't understand what he had done or what I was about to do. An oblivious husband. But what I was about to say next would start his downfall. I'm leaving this house. You're leaving? I've already left Ava at my parents' house, and the movers are arranged. I'm moving out in 2 weeks, so just so you know. What are you talking about? Moving out? What do you mean? It doesn't mean anything. I've already decided. Suddenly being told I was moving out shocked my husband. He yelled at me. Why are you even talking about moving out? What did I do? Our life has no hardships, right? I do the housework and childcare. The company you were supposed to take over from your father-in-law, I'm running it with an income of $2 million a year. Yet you're leaving. What's bothering you so much? You really have no clue? Huh? Clue about what? You really thought it wouldn't come out. What are you trying to say? You're cheating, aren't you? With a 21-year-old woman you met on a dating app. No, I wouldn't do such a thing. What are you talking about? Why are you panicking so much? Because you suddenly started talking nonsense. I'm not cheating. It's all a misunderstanding by you. And a dating app? I've never downloaded anything like that. If you want to see, I can show you my phone. Confidently, my husband handed me his phone, claiming he hadn't cheated. Look, there's no dating app icon, right? And see, my messages, only with work people and family. I don't know what you saw, but suddenly deciding to move out is too much. Let's calm down and talk, okay? Maybe I was wrong. If you understand, that's good. I'll call the movers to cancel, you just needs to cool down. It's my fault for choosing someone like you. What did you say? No dating app icon? Never downloaded one? Stop lying. I'm not lying. Then what's this? I showed him his app download history. He thought deleting an app would leave no evidence, but you can check everything that's been downloaded. Why have you downloaded so many dating apps? You said you've never downloaded any before. What's that about? That's a mistake. You mistakenly downloaded several dating apps? That's probably because. You know I have a habit of putting my phone in my back pocket? It must have downloaded by mistake when I sat down. Right, a malfunction. Exactly. So, it's not cheating or anything. And what about this email? What? He had been careful to communicate with her via a free email service, thinking that even if I checked his line, it wouldn't raise suspicion. You even set up email pop-up notifications. Why did you think this wouldn't give you away? You, going through my phone without permission. Do you think you have the right to yell at me after cheating? You're cheating while we have a child. What were you thinking? Well, that is. He finally seemed to resign himself to telling the truth. I was lonely. Lonely? Coming home from work, you were always busy with Ava. Our conversations were mostly about childcare. We hardly ever had time to talk like we did when we were dating. So, you turned to dating apps? Well, yes, but she is nobody. I think of you and Ava first and foremost. That's why I've been working so hard. This affair wasn't serious. I feel really bad about what I did to you. But I can't believe you suddenly moved out because of it. If you knew about my affair, you should have questioned me, right? We should have discussed it instead of making the decision in the first place. He seemed to believe that my decision to move out was solely because he cheated. However, cheating wasn't the only reason for my decision. I asked you before, but do you really think there's no other reason? Other? There's nothing else I'm keeping from you besides the cheating. What are you trying to say? If there's something, just say it. I handed my husband an envelope. What's this? Why don't you take a look inside? It contains the reason for my decision. He hesitantly opened the envelope as I suggested. Then,
What this is?
do you recognize it?
How did you get this?
A very kind person in our neighborhood told me. They said you ordered the falsification of quality data.
What?
My father founded a food processing company. As the name suggests, it's a company that processes food ingredients and products. I heard from someone that my husband, who took over the company, ordered the improvement of food quality data.
I never gave such a foolish order. Our company prioritizes consumer safety first. There's no way we would falsify quality data. Who would say such a thing?
A neighbor's son works for our company. He told us. Continuing this would eventually lead to the company's collapse. The neighbor was the same person who had witnessed my husband's affair. Her son had been working at our company and was ordered to falsify quality data about 3 months ago by my husband. I'm sorry to bring another problem after the affair, but I thought this wasn't just a personal issue. Thank you for letting me know. And your son? He refused to falsify data and was demoted. That's why he resigned last month. I see. But he thought it likely that other employees were now being ordered to falsify data. Initially, he thought about going to the media, but since we've been so helpful, he wanted to tell us first. Hearing this, my husband became furious.
That's absolutely a lie. Without any evidence. It's just harassment because I married into your family and took over the company. Sophia, don't be swayed by such nonsense. This document could be fabricated. On what basis?
I've actually got solid evidence.
That document alone doesn't prove anything.
I thought you might say that, so I gathered testimonies. Testimonies from employees you ordered to falsify data. What? Then it all came out, all the evidence of your wrongdoing. They had properly kept evidence, thinking it might be useful later because your orders were suspicious. They recorded conversations with you. What he did can be divided into 2 major issues. The first is falsifying the quality labels of the ingredients used. The second issue was processing food using ingredients that should have been discarded. Employees had secretly recorded conversations with my husband ordering these actions.
Have you forgotten what kind of company we run? A food company. Falsifying the quality of the most important thing, our food. What were you thinking?
Well, that is.
What was your goal? What did you want to achieve?
Then, my husband, still not facing me, said.
Recently, the prices of ingredients have gone up, and we weren't making as much profit. So, I thought this was a way to make a bit more profit for the company. It's not like we're serving rotten stuff. There haven't been any customers complaining of getting sick. Blaming all this on me alone is just too harsh, isn't it?
My husband claimed he falsified the quality of the ingredients to increase profits for the company. Hearing such an unbelievable justification made my blood boil.
Listen, we're not cooking meals at home here. We're making food that goes into the mouths of consumers nationwide. You can't be thinking it's okay just because the expiry date is a bit past. It's completely unacceptable. But you said it's okay because no customers have complained of illness, but it's too late once someone gets sick. Falsifying what's in the food we use is out of the question. For someone with allergies, it could be life-threatening. The ingredients listed on the back of the product aren't just some random words. As the CEO of a company dealing with products, you should know this is absolutely something you must not do.
He listened to me in silence. And, saying we weren't making profit is a lie, right? Why lie about something that can be easily checked? My father hasn't retired, he became the chairman. A quick chat with him would reveal the truth. You must have been pocketing the profits secretly, weren't you? No, that's not. This is unforgivable. My father is already taking action on this matter. Don't think you'll get away with it. But, listen to my side of the story.
Your side? What else is there?
Well, that is.
There's nothing, right? My father trusted you with the company. He thought you, being honest and kind to everyone, could be entrusted with the company, and so did I. I was supposed to take over the company, but I let you take it instead. I was so happy when you said you'd take over. But it seems I was wrong.
What are you saying? Was it the company you were after all along, not me?
That's not true.
There's another recording. Apart from the falsification, there's a recording of your true feelings, talking to someone. I played the audio file I received from someone. The content was shockingly revealing.
I heard rumors that she didn't want to take over her father's company, but I never thought it'd work out this well. A guy with no significant background like me is now the CEO of one of the top 3 corporations in the country, earning $2 million a year. Can you believe it?
Well, she doesn't know.
She thinks of me as a benefactor who took over the company she was supposed to inherit. She doesn't suspect I approached her with taking over the company in mind. Things are going well with her too. She hasn't found out about that either. I have no intention of divorcing because of the company, but the thought of spending my life with such a woman disgusts me. A man needs 1 or 2 mistresses to survive. God will forgive me for that much. After all, I'm a benefactor who helped someone in need.
The recording ended there. It was clear he had been speaking on the phone with someone. He explicitly stated that getting close to me was for the purpose of taking over the company my father founded.
This is just a joke, a joke. An old high school friend called me out of the blue. You know the kind of banter guys have, right? There's no way I approached you with the company in mind. You can't possibly take this recording seriously, right? Do you think I would believe such an excuse? Even if, hypothetically, it was a joke, it's not funny. I can't believe you would say such things when I'm not around. And the cheating was real, wasn't it?
Well, that is. Once trust is gone in a marriage, it's over. I can no longer trust you, not as a husband nor as a person. With that, I handed him a piece of paper. What's this?
You'll know if you look. It's a divorce form. I've already filled out my part, so could you fill out yours?
Then, my husband said, I'm not signing any divorce papers. I won't divorce. He tore up the divorce papers I had handed him.
Well, then it's going to court. I can't continue a marital life with you anymore. We'll talk through lawyers from now on. As for the company matter, my father will be contacting you later. Follow through with the consequences of your actions.
Hey, where are you going?
I told you, I'm leaving this house. I never want to see your face again. Goodbye. Wait a minute. Hey! Sophia!
And so, I left the house I had lived in for several years with my family. Soon after, my husband was called by my father.
I've heard everything. What were you thinking? Do you want to destroy our company?
No, that's not it. I didn't mean.
What you did is a crime. This isn't something we can just resolve within the family. I'm reporting this to the police. No, please!
My father reported to the police that my husband had falsified data. The media caught wind of it, and crowds formed in front of the company. We are deeply sorry for this incident. The next day, a press conference was held, and my husband deeply apologized. Subsequently, my husband was charged with several crimes and faced legal action. As for the company, the individual concerned has already resigned. For the time being, the chairman will return as CEO and will provide guidance. Yes, we are deeply sorry for this incident. Of course, the apology at the press conference alone was not enough to earn forgiveness from the public, and the company was swamped with complaints. However, we also bear responsibility for failing to see his true nature. Everyone was united in their efforts to sincerely apologize and restore consumer trust. Then, it's difficult for me to continue as CEO due to my age. So, Sophia, could you take over as CEO? Me? I'm not the kind of person who can lead. You'll be fine. You have the awareness that we are making products for people to consume. Far more suited to be CEO than him, who only thought about his own profit. Of course, you can't become CEO right away. I'll teach you everything you need to know. Can you do it? I nodded to my father's question. After the turmoil settled, we formally proceeded with the divorce. I gained custody of our daughter, Ava, and demanded alimony and child support from my ex-husband. However, now, about the alimony and child support.
Hey, alimony and child support? You're planning to squeeze more out of me after I've lost everything?
He agreed to the divorce but completely changed his attitude when it came to paying alimony and child support. I've already been punished. I accepted the divorce and handed over custody of our daughter. And yet you demand alimony and child support? Are you all heartless?
Excuse me? The company, divorce, and custody matters are separate from this. It's only natural to pay alimony if you cheated while married. And as a father, it's your duty to pay child support. Regardless of what you say, you will take responsibility. But I'm unemployed now. How can you expect money from me? Unemployed or not, having debts doesn't matter. You can't avoid payment just because you claim to have no income or assets. How am I supposed to pay then?
Normally, we'd prefer a lump sum payment to settle everything, but my client is willing to accept installments. The alimony for the affair is $40,000, half of which is from you. Child support is around $1,400 to $1,500 a month. We'll send the documents for you to follow through with the payment.
$20,000. How can I afford such a large amount?
A large amount? Considering the divorce was caused by an affair, it's actually quite reasonable. Can't you lower the amount somehow? My client is Sophia. If you wish to negotiate a reduction, you should hire your own lawyer. However, hiring a lawyer also costs money. Personally, I think if you can afford a lawyer, you might as well just pay the $20,000 in alimony. That is. And remember, this situation is entirely your own doing. If you hadn't betrayed your family and acted this way, you wouldn't have lost your family, company, money, everything. Reluctantly, my ex-husband agreed to pay the alimony and child support. And naturally, the woman he had an affair with was also sued for emotional distress.
$20,000.
Her first reaction was the same as my ex-husband's.
I'm only 21. I'm a part-time worker with no savings. How can I pay $20,000? Just because we had an affair for a year or two, and I'm not even pregnant, why such a large amount?
The duration of the relationship and the fact that you're not pregnant is why the amount is set at this. If you were pregnant, the amount you'd have to pay would be much higher.
But suddenly demanding such a large amount, I'm in trouble.
In trouble? The person who's really in trouble is the wife, right? That is, cheated on by her husband and suddenly forced into a divorce with a child involved. And you knew he was married with a child, didn't you? He was married? I didn't know that. I was also deceived by him. So the money. Is that so? Even now, you choose to lie. What? We already have proof that you knew he was married with a family. There's text where you asked him, is it okay to do this, knowing you have a wife and child? That's undeniable proof you knew he had a family. Do you have anything more to say? That is, knowing he was married, you still continued the relationship. And as a result, this affair led to a divorce. That's why you have to pay $20,000. The relationship was short? You're not pregnant? Those aren't reasons not to pay. Are you misunderstanding something? What? You might think this was just a little fling. But what you did deeply hurt her. Your careless actions destroyed a family. And still, you say $20,000 in damages for the affair is too much? You need to take full responsibility for your actions. That's all you can do. The lawyer firmly told her, who was whining about not wanting to pay. Therefore, she reluctantly agreed to the payment. And so, my battle came to an end. Sometime after that day, my father said to me, "Guess who I just ran into?" "Who?" "Your ex-husband. He was getting yelled at by a much younger boss while working at a construction site. After everything that happened was broadcasted on TV, I guess no company was willing to hire him. Apparently, my ex-husband is now sweating it out at a construction site. But I had already heard rumors about his situation. I heard your ex-husband is working at a construction site now. He's living in a small, run-down apartment provided by the company. There are always debt collectors lurking around his place. Hard to believe he was a millionaire not too long ago. Is that so? It seems my ex-husband is leading a miserable life, getting what he deserved. Then, I wonder if it hadn't been for me telling you all that, would things have ended up differently? The neighbor said, sounding regretful. But I'm very grateful to her.
Please don't say that. Thanks to you telling me, I was able to see through his facade. Besides, I think our relationship wouldn't have lasted long anyway since he only thought about himself. So, it was actually good that I found out early.
Surely now, he must be deeply regretting his actions from the bottom of his heart. But that's his own doing.
If he had not worn a mask of lies and had faced us with his true feelings, none of this would have happened.